Hello, everybody. How is everybody this evening? Hello, hello. Oh, I'm gonna grab a seat and we're gonna get started. All right. While we're waiting for everybody to come in and have a seat, kick your feet up. We're gonna load our board. We're gonna use the oval tonight. Yes, we are. I really think I'm not sure, like, maybe I need to put the Kentucky Derby on my bucket list. I think the reason I want to put the Kentucky Derby on my bucket list, y'all, is to enter the hat making contest. What do y'all think? Should I give it a whirl? They have a contest for making the most outlandish, over the top. Hello, Tina and Jane and Denise and Michelle and Lynn. Well, hello, Beck. Where you been? Tina Kelly. 3 times in a row, Tina. My supply list is in the description. I will impress you yet with Tina Kelly with my skills. Hello, Miss Gail. Hello to my friends on YouTube. Hello to my friends on Facebook. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Flop. One of these days, y'all, I will impress Miss Tina Kelly with my skills. It is Wednesday night. My name is Jackie. You are hanging out with the Queen of Pipe Cleaners. That's just what I'm going to call myself. I'm going to call myself the Queen of Pipe Cleaners. Why not? Hello, Miss Lori. Hello, Miss Nancy. Hello, Miss Teresa. I think if I remember correctly, this is my first fall wreath of the season. I don't think I've done one yet. I mean, I know August is right around the corner, y'all, but it's hotter than hell, so it's hard to think about fall weather and fall season. Okay. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I heard it was like 76 in Canada the other day, and I'm like, I'm living in the wrong place. 76 degrees. It was 96 here. Well, y'all, we have a newest member to our family. We now have 4 dogs. I did, Lori, like right after you, like, I got your message and I was like, well, I was almost there. If you just hold on a second. You know, can't text and drive, though. That's no bueno. All right, my friends, we're going to do 10 pieces of mesh on the outside, and that mesh is 20 inches. Yeah, I had to take my doggos to the vet. So, all right, 10 pieces of mesh on the outside, 20 inches. And my friends, welcome to fall, where we're not going to tuck and roll. We're just going to ruffle, because I'm using jute mesh, y'all. And when talking about fall, the fray just kind of adds a little something to the fall wreath, like hay. Like hay, not hay, 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 hay. Well, do you feel better after binge watching my tutorials? That's the important thing. The new pup is a full-size Yorkie. And of course, he's downstairs hanging out with my daughter, because that's where all the dogs do. They just go and hang out with my daughter. My husband's asking me, how long is it going to take you to make this wreath? An hour, 2? I'm like, well, I did the prep work already, so probably not that long. I have a heat sealer. But I'm here to tell you, since the invention of cut mesh, you will not catch this girl heat sealing, wood burning, nothing. Ain't gonna happen. I will order that stuff already cut. Y'all know I didn't like heat sealing it and all that in the first place. That's why Jackie doesn't make flowers. Flowers are just not Jackie's jam. Well, his name is Bozzy. Hey, sis. Great to see you, sis. I hope y'all know that any of y'all that are heat sealing and all that stuff, I ain't knocking you. I appreciate you. Okay, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the work and effort. Okay. What's up, Miss Cindy? Aw, thank you, Tina. I don't know, for me to make flowers, it takes a different kind of inspiration. So there's that. Like I said, we're not going to tuck and roll the mesh because this is a fall wreath. And the fray, just using the jute mesh, kind of adds that little hay to it. Not like hay, you know, like cows eat hay. Hay. All right, my friends, now that we've done the outside, we're going to go to the inside. The ties are closer together. So our mesh is only 15 inches, and we've cut, I have, there's no mouse in my pocket around here, y'all. I have cut the mesh 15 inches. I don't know why I say we, like somebody was around here helping me. Nobody was helping me. The closest help I get around here is dogs stealing my stuff. I have had to block off my work area because my daughter was puppy sitting today, literally puppy sitting. And this little dog came behind my work area and was running off with my greenery. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I got a question, y'all. What are y'all thinking about all these big, huge bows that people are making? The new dog's name is Bozzy, yes. If you see him, and if you got to look it up, we named him after an Ewok. Okay, because he looks like an Ewok. And there's an Ewok, my husband looked it up, and its name is Bozzy. So that's how he got his name. I think those bows are good for leftover ribbon. He's the one that caved, Donna. That little dude looked at my husband, and my husband said, if the other lady doesn't want him, he said he can stay. My husband's the one that caved, y'all. Mm-hmm. Of course, you got to see the little dude's face. Yes, we have 4 now. Bozzy needs a special situation. Because he was with just an elderly woman before. So he kind of needs a situation where there's not a lot, you know. Now he's with just me and Tiffany, and I guess I'm the elderly woman in the house. No, Donna, he can't. Absolutely not. My daughter was like, you know, asking. I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm the one that's saying no now. No more. I don't care what species it is. It's not coming in the house. My husband's not a fan of dogs getting, or any animal really getting bounced all over the place. So, come here. This is Bozzy, y'all. Can you show him your cute little face? This is Mr. Bozzy. He's just a big cuddly teddy bear, y'all. Or a little cuddly teddy bear. But yep, he looks like an Ewok. His name was Bentley, and I was like, well, that's not going to work, because Berkeley. His name was Berkeley, because every time I would call Berkeley, 2 of my dogs would bark like I was telling them to bark. I was like, this is not going to work, because normally we don't change their names. But this time we had to, because every time I would call him, my dog Chica would lose her freaking mind. He's a cuddly little guy. Oh, him and Buster play, Deb. Him and Buster play. You know Buster. He's the original, like, Lovey. I made my husband tell Chica, because y'all gotta understand my Chi-Chi. Yeah, she's not putting up with much. So I made my husband break the news to Chica. I was like, I'm not telling her. There is no way I'm telling Chica. You tell her. We have Buster, Chica, Lily, and Bozzy. And Lily's this tiny little thing that just... Lily's more like having a quarter of a dog, because she's just a little tiny thing. So she's more like having just a quarter of a dog. The vet wasn't convinced of that, y'all. When I'm sitting there and I was at the vet and I'm trying to, you know, get a discount. Well, what's up, Miss Kelly? And I'm trying to get a discount for all the animals that we're bringing in there and all the business, you know. And I was like, look, this isn't even a full dog. I'm like, my Lily, like, she's tiny. She fits in my hand. Like, this isn't even a full-size dog. Like, we shouldn't get charged full price for her. Vet did not agree. I object. All right. I'm going to go ahead and attach my sign tonight because I have a plan and I want to show y'all something. Usually. And I'm just going to use a metal hole punch. It's got a hanger in the back, but I don't want to use that. So I'm just going to use my metal hole punch to make some left and right holes. And what I like about metal signs and using it, you can just, right at the edge, nobody's going to notice. I have never ever had anybody complain, oh, I can see the pipe cleaners. Never. Like, I'm watching people stress out about things that the buyers have never stressed out over. Ever. Alright, so we're going to set the sign kind of high into the wreath. Because I like big bows. We're going to make a big bow. If that's okay with y'all. All right. Well, y'all, I think I'm done. The mesh and the pumpkin just alone look beautiful. So I think we're done. Just kidding. I could just hear some of y'all if I don't jackify this wreath. They'd be like, they'd be gasping and hyperventilating. It'd be like one of those episodes that you would watch on TV and the ending leaves you hanging. And you never forgive the writer. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I know y'all have watched some TV shows like that because I have. Where the ending just sucked and it left you hanging. Y'all know what I'm talking about? All right. So I want the bow to sit up high. There's one problem. There's nothing for me to attach the bow to on the underneath. The bottom of my sign is right about here. Ote. So we're going to take, and those are actually too big. Because if I'm going to put two together, a couple pipe cleaners together, or zip ties. I'm using zip ties. Lord have mercy, she's using zip ties, y'all. Control your excitement. I know that's hard to do when I use zip ties, y'all, but you're just going to have to try. I didn't think that was the same zip tie. Let's try this one last time. With all the correct zip ties. Try the ribbon shed. If you can't find it at Unique in the Creek, then you need to try the ribbon shed. Those are my two places that I shop. I try to keep it like, I don't try to go crazy with where I shop at, so that y'all can find the stuff that I use. Okay. Now, I'm not going to cut my zip ties. And the reason I don't cut them on the back, y'all, is because sometimes they end up with a sharp point. And I don't want that. So I'd rather have this sticking up and everybody's safe and doesn't get hurt. All right, so I've cut my ribbon. We're going to do blue and blue and orange. And they're cut 14 inches. Oh, they have them, unless they've been sold out. Blue and orange. Anybody else team blue and orange for fall? It just reminds me of blue jeans and sweatshirts. So I love the blue and orange. Like, and when the weather's just crisp enough, y'all, it reminds me of the first time I kissed my husband. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right? Aww. Ooh, I love the color of this already. Get in there. It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. Do any of y'all do craft shows? Like pack up and, go do craft shows? Because they will be starting really, really soon. Fall craft shows start like in September. Uh-oh. Did I just see my autofocus go out of focus? I can't believe it's almost August already. I'm just like, what? I was like, I blinked. Summer's almost gone. Which, to be honest, y'all, if you like know me at all, you know that I'm okay with summer being almost over. Because I hate snakes. Hate them. And I don't use the hate word lightly, but I'm here to tell you, Jackie does not like snakes. Well, my tribe doesn't start school till middle of August, but they're all in college. Lord help me. Got 1 out of college and 3 in. All right, y'all. So this is leftover. I always keep my leftovers. Leftover cut mesh from one of the kits that we did this past summer, I believe. And we're going to use this for spirals to put a little bit of the green back in. Don't roll it tightly. We kind of need some green because of the stem. And don't worry, we got more goodies to add to it. I mean, if y'all want me to, I can stick around and add more goodies to it, or I can leave it alone after I put the bow on. Because y'all know I got more goodies. I'm hiding the basket of them to the left. Tina, I'm waiting to see your garland. I actually made 1 fall garland, y'all. Maybe 2. Just 1. And my friend, my best friend has it. I gave it to her. It goes on her mantle. My best friend, because of what I do, she's actually been a beneficiary of some of the pretty large stuff that I've made. For an example, she wasn't gonna like get all elaborate on Christmas anymore, so I made her a wreath that was over 5 feet long to hang up on her wall instead of a Christmas tree. I'm an opportunist. Any of the extravagant large centerpieces I have made, based on her Christmas decor or whatever. Yep. The one wreath that I made was almost as tall as she is. Almost. When she held up the wreath, y'all, it was hilarious because I got a picture of it. You see her little feet sticking out of the bottom. It looked like a walking wreath. This is good looking. So if you wanted to do this on a round board with just the ribbon, and you can. And it'd be fine, y'all, as you can see. But I'm going to put a bow here. But I just want to let y'all know, because some people are a less is more tribe. And you can be a less is more tribe. Go on with your bad self. Okay? But, so, like, I would just do this, though, on a round board. And you can do just the spirals and ribbon. And you're done. But then there's people like me that is like, more is more is more. Is more. We're just going to add more. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And now we mix the bow. And we get out one long pipe cleaner. By the way, y'all, I can make a bow by hand, in case y'all didn't know. But I'm not going to sit here and drop ribbon all over my work area and pick it up later. Not going to happen. And I'm not going to give myself hand cramps. Trying to impress you with making a bow by hand. Blue and orange pumpkin ribbon. We'll get there. We got to get the bow on first. We got to make a couple laps around the... Do I use grapevine? Actually, no, I don't. Well, I mean, I do from time to time, but I don't like them because they make such a freaking mess. I have made grapevine wreaths, and when I was running my business my customers didn't like the mess they made. So there was no point in doing it. I literally had somebody, can you make that, but not on a grapevine? I don't like the way they scratch my door. And I'm all over here like, sure, no problem. I used to use evergreen wreath forms before, but they fluctuate in price unless you get a ton of them on sale. And the other thing is, like, you're going to load them down with mesh anyway. So why am I going to buy something that costs more that I'm just going to load down with mesh anyway? Because they got to cover the evergreen base. And then I had a customer just one time. One customer said, I wish I'd have known that was on an evergreen base because it kind of weighs a lot. I was like, oops, my bad. And plus, evergreen, they're like, the evergreen bases too. Oh, they are another mess to store. There isn't a wreath form out there I haven't used. I have tested them all. People like what they use for different reasons. So come on out. I've used the standard work forms. There's pros and cons, y'all, to like every wreath base. Every one. Pros and cons. All right. So for those of you that joined late and want to know where I'm putting my bow, I put a zip tie down here at the bottom to attach it onto because I didn't want it sitting that low in the wreath. I ain't knocking what nobody uses to make their wreath. I'm knocking nobody. I can only speak for my thoughts, my opinions, folks. All right, what I'm going to do, y'all see the zip tie that's hanging out? I'm going to, so it will quit hanging out. Maybe, maybe not. The extra pipe cleaner that's left over, y'all. Just gonna wrap it around there to keep that from sticking out. And that's just to kind of, you know, still keep the back all nice and clean. Here's my thing, y'all. Okay. Everything has its purpose when you craft, when you're a crafter. And you shouldn't just go knocking one thing over another. And it's kind of like whether to make a bow by hand or not make a bow by hand. Y'all, it's really not how you make the bow, it's how it turns out. Because there's some people that can make a bow by that say they can make a bow by hand, but I'm here to tell you it turns out like crap. And there's some people that use bow makers, and the bow turns out like crap. So but the bulk of my customers, they prefer, because it's a nice clean back and it doesn't scratch their door. It is out of, like, why didn't y'all tell me? Jackie, camera, it has a mind of its own. Because I can make sure it doesn't. Pow! Bam! And then there was goodies, my friends. Let's go. I don't know. I'm cutting off certain points to this to put into my wreath, kind of so it'll all be identical. Where did that one go? There. Okay, we're going to put this one under the bow. I got these blue leaves from the ribbon shed. And what I like about the ribbon shed is they don't sell them in bundles. They sell them individually, so you don't have to buy all 12. Like, we're digging the blue ficus, y'all. Oops, get away. There's actually a deeper blue in the ribbon, and I know y'all may not be able to see it. But the blue ribbon that I chose, it has several shades of blue. Don't worry, y'all. We will calm the blue down in a minute. I remember when Ficus was just green. I'm so glad that they started doing more colors so that Ficus, well, because it's inexpensive, so now we can use it more year round. Because they even have shiny leaves that you can use like at Christmas or to dazzle something up if you want to. I don't think I have ever cleaned my mailbox. Alright, so the reason I put the blue on the bottom is y'all can see it's pretty dominant. So that's the reason I put the blue on the bottom, because it's a very large leaf. So now we're going to come back in with our green and orange and tone it down just a bit. I think it's time, y'all, for me to just get another glue pot. So I can just dip and go. See how it's toning that blue down, my friends? So before you use your element, really think about how you put them in. Let's add some fleurs. I think these fleurs are going to steal the show, my friends. I'm pulling some of the greenery off, y'all, because it's kind of bright. The flowers are the right color, but the greenery's kind of bright. All right, so we want to make sure that we don't cover up the pumpkin stem, my friends. These are peonies. And I want y'all to mark that on the calendar that Jackie knew exactly what kind of flower she was using. If y'all have known me for any amount of time, you would know that does not happen often. No, Linda. Nope. I'm safe. Yeah. We'll save these for another project. I think what I want to do, y'all, just to kind of finish this, I think I want to spike a couple of these around the pumpkin. because the mesh just kind of hanging out there like that kind of bothers me just a little bit. Normally it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, but this time it kind of is. It's just a little too... Now we need a little blue. Just a little blue to keep that orange popping, y'all. It's all about balance, my friends. Balance of color and elements. And see, we can still see the pumpkin really well, that's important. Oh. Well, la-di-da. Guess what Jackie found? Ugh, come here. If y'all have been designing with me or hanging out with me for 5 minutes, you should know that I'm constantly looking to my left. Excuse me, yeah, my left. And that's where my stash of greenery is. This is like another shade of blue, y'all, which makes me happy. And I think we need to tuck a couple of these into the bow to kind of bring out some of the blue. Maybe, maybe not. No, not this time. It'll be okay. Ta-da! Let's see. Do y'all see me this Saturday? I can't remember. Do y'all see me this Saturday? No. No Jackie this Saturday. All right, my friends, then y'all have a great rest of your week. I will see y'all, next Wednesday, y'all. Y'all gonna have to wait a whole week to see me again. Till next time, my friends. Bye, y'all.